Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Sorry I didn't announce this live stream. Something's wrong with this new computer. All of the videos I'm making to upload are corrupting. So from now on, I'm just going to do all sports decodes as live streams. And I'll try to get it on a consistent schedule so you know when to expect it. So each week going forward, the Thursday night football decode will be a live stream. We're already doing all the Sunday games in a live stream. Just from now on, every sports decode will be a live stream. If you can't make it live, it's okay because it automatically uploads and you can watch the recording. So just a little change here going forward. Going to switch it over to the desktop and let's talk about NFL Week 8. First game tonight. So Week 8 has the gematria you see on the screen. The word 8 in the most pure cipher has this gematria of 31, and that's the exact same as Houston. Houston is hosting the first game of Week 8, hosting the Dolphins later tonight. Let's take a look at this. So it's October 25th, 2018, the 298th day of the year, leaving 67 days remaining. Today's date has 73 numerology, 46 numerology. Houston, Texas is 46. It's a date with 19 numerology. In light of it being the day leaving 67 days left in the year, 67 is the 19th prime. You're looking for the number 19 tonight. And we talked about this last week. Today has 53 date numerology. It's the 53rd NFL season. Or excuse me, it's the 99th NFL season, but it concludes with Super Bowl 53. And for the Dolphins, it is their 53rd season, just like the Atlanta Falcons. Today's date also has the 35 numerology, the reflection of 53. Thursday night football. In Gematria sums to 112, so does Houston. And TNF equals 40, so does Houston. The last time the Dolphins and Texans both played on Thursday night football, not against each other, they both played teams from the AFC North. Both teams lost in games equating to 40 total points. The Dolphins got skunked 40-0 by the Ravens, and the Texans lost 34-6 to the Steelers. But 40 is always a big number on Thursday night football. I'd look for it again tonight. TNF has gematria 40, 13, 41, and 14. We're actually going to talk about how all of these numbers relate to tonight's game, the TNF acronym. Whoever wins tonight will improve to 5-3 on a date with 53 numerology. Right now, the Texans are on a tear. Dolphins coming off a home loss to the Lions. Notice the line is about 8 points in Houston's favor, 7.5. Could they cover with 8 to start Week 8? Remember, 8 has the gematria of 31 like Houston, same cipher, our most pure cipher. Notice the over-unders at 44.5. That's right there at 45. If the Dolphins lose tonight and the Texans win, both teams will have the same record on Thursday night football, 4-5. Remember, Miami equals 45 with the alphabetic order. When you write out 13 as a word, it also sums to 45. And if Miami lost tonight, they would be 1-3 on the road, something like 13. Houston would also be 3-1 at home, where Houston equals 31. So head-to-head, this is the 9th meeting between the two teams. In light of the 45, what we were just talking about, 45 is the 9th triangular number, meaning if you had 1 through 9 together, it equals 45. The Texans lead the head-to-head matchups 7-1. 7-1. Texans could get their 8th win in the series to lead off Week 8. Again, 45, the 9th triangular number. Miami equals 45. If Miami did win tonight, if Miami upset the Texans at home, they would become 2-7 all-time in the series. Miami does have gematria of 27. Something to keep in mind, but to me, the stronger narrative is the 9-45 thing. Both teams becoming 4-5 on Thursday night football. But we will acknowledge the other narrative because, we've probably only gotten about 70% of our games right this year, which I'm not too happy about. What's been killing me this year is primetime football. Normally, primetime football is my bread and butter. And I don't know. This year the scripts have been really tight. I don't know what to say about that. So anyway, if we do get it wrong, this is why I always acknowledge the possible other narrative that's floating there. The Dolphins' only win against the Texans came in their last meeting, which was actually on the same day of the year. It was October 25th, 2015. That was the last time they played. The score of that game was 44-26. That's 70 combined points, and it was on a date with 70 numerology right here. Miami Dolphins in Gematria sums to 70. Again, a reminder of how numerological these games are. Got to get that out of here. All right, so 70 date numerology. Dolphins took it in 70 combined points. Miami Dolphins 70. There's also a date with a life lesson number of 43. Dolphins also 43. So is Florida. And this game was in Miami, Florida. This game was in Miami, where Miami won on October 25th. Difference today, it's in Houston. 3 years ago to the day. To date, the Dolphins are 0-4 in Houston. They've never won in Houston. What is interesting is if the Dolphins did win in Houston, they would become 1-4. And from the Texans' perspective, they would be 4-1. And again, TNF does have that 14-41 thing going. But I want to remind you guys that when I started this, I only knew about these two ciphers, the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And I swear it was easier to pick games back then. Sometimes I see how this reverse gematria absolutely factors in. But it would be good to keep statistics going forward to see what's more reliable. It seems to me that historically these first two ciphers have been more reliable. I can't totally discount the reverse gematria, but they're the newer finds and something we've been using in more recent seasons. Again, the Texans could improve to 3-1 at home tonight. Houston 31, 8-31. The Dolphins 4-4 on Thursday Night Football. They'll either become 5-4 or 4-5. We explained why 4-5 makes more sense. The Dolphins' last Thursday Night Football game was against the Ravens, October 26, 2017. About a year ago to the day off. But 40-0 they lost on Thursday Night Football. Texans are 3-5 on Thursday Night Football. Miami 45, NRG Stadium where they play 45. Should also acknowledge that in the base ciphers, Miami is 36. They could potentially fall to 3-6. The Texans lost their last Thursday Night Football game, 34-6 to the Steelers. Again, 40 points. That was December 25th, Christmas Day, 2017. With regards to it being week 8, Osweiler, who used to play for the Texans and now plays for the Dolphins, he wears the number 8. Now, if he won, this would be his revenge game. Watson wears the number 4. This is Osweiler's 30th career game. He's 15-14. On the road, he is 4-9. If he won tonight, Osweiler, he'd get his 16th career win. And remember, today has 53 date numerology. It's the Dolphins' 53rd season. 53 is the 16th prime number. In the regular season, Osweiler's 14-13. Remember that it's his 28th regular season game because he's also 28 years old and his birthday is 28 days from today. It's a lot of 28. But he's 14-13 in the regular season. He could potentially pick up his 14th loss tonight. TNF 14. To date, Osweiler's 1-1 on Thursday Night Football. He's 6-6 on primetime. Today leaves 67 days left in the year. He could fall to 6-7 in primetime. He's 7-2 against the AFC South. That means he could pick up his 8th win against the AFC South to start off week 8. He could also become 7-3 on a date with 73 numerology. To date, he's 1-0 against the Texans. I do find it really interesting how it's his 28th regular season game, and it's 28 days before his birthday. He's 28 years old. That's very interesting to me. It's Watson's 14th game. Again, TNF 14. He's 7-6, meaning he could pick up his 8th career win to start off week 8. He could become 5-2 at home or 4-3 at home. Dolphins has Gematria 52-43, so that doesn't help us out so much. Florida has the Gematria 43 as well. Watson is 1-0 on Thursday Night Football. Watson is 2-1 on primetime. He could become 3-1 like Houston. He's 1-2 against the AFC East. Means he could fall to 1-3 like TNF. He's never played the Dolphins before. This game is 41 days after Watson's 23rd birthday, also a span of 42 days. Remember, TNF has 41 Gematria, so does Houston as well. So nice Houston alignment there. Watson equals 70. Deshaun Watson equals 70. Miami Dolphins 70. That was the number in the last time these two teams met. For the coaches, this is Adam Gase's 40th regular season game. Again, TNF 40, Houston 40. Gase is 40 years old right now. It's his 211th day of his age, the 47th prime number. For O'Brien, it's his 72nd regular season game. That's the Texans coach. He's 35-36. With a win, he would even his record at 500, becoming 36-36. Miami equals 36. The game is 2 days after Bill O'Brien's 49th birthday. NFL's 49. 8 is 49, hosting the first game of week 8. Right after the 49th birthday, big special number there. It is a tight narrative. Again, I favor the Texans. I think the strongest riddle is that 45 thing. Both teams becoming 4-5 on Thursday Night Football. For the owners, I'm looking at the owners again now just to see if we can bear some fruit here. The game's 168 days after the Dolphins owner's birthday, or is 169th day of his age. 169 has the square root of 13. Miami could fall to 1-3 on the road. For the Texans owner, the game is 67 days before his birthday. Again, today leaves 67 days left in the year. 67 is the 19th prime. We have 19 date numerology. The word win has Gematria of 19. So interesting how it lines up with the Texans owner there. I do favor the Texans tonight. I will also say that I have done very poorly on Thursday Night Football this year. It's definitely been my Achilles heel if there's any games we've been picking this season. So trying to get off that snide. I was hoping that the way things would work out last week with the records, only one team would be able to become 5-3 in this game in light of the 53 date numerology. But I do believe more things stack in the Texans' favor. The scariest thing for me is probably the way things line up with Brock Osweiler, who used to play with the Texans. That whole 28 thing, in light of that being a perfect number and all. But even still, overwhelmingly, I think more points to the Texans in this game. And keep in mind, it is the Dolphins' 53rd NFL season. So before I run away, since this is a live stream, I will I'll just see if anybody jumped in here, because perhaps somebody is here with an observation. So before I say goodbye, let's just take a peek here. Good morning, all. All right, there are people here. John's always got some great observations, and he's on it. John says that Watson can improve to 8-6 with a Texas win. From McNair's Texans owner, last birthday to date of game is 86 weekend days. That's kind of an interesting stat. 86 weekend days. I don't know if I would take into account things like that, but it is interesting. Watson can improve to 5-2 at home. Hold on, I want to come back here and just look at the week 8 thing. Was there some 8 has this connection to 86. Watson can improve, come back down to his record again. Where is Deshaun Watson at? Where's his stats? So Watson can improve to 8-6. That is a great observation in light of it. in light of 8 having the Gematria of 86. So that's very favorable too for Watson. And Watson really is a talented player. I mean, the NFL's a script, but you can see who has the real ability. And I feel like they got to make Watson a future star in the NFL as some of these older guys fade out. So let's see. Good observation there about 86. Watson can improve to 5-2 at home with a win from the date of a game to his next start is a total span of 325 days. Okay. Osweiler can fall to 4-10 on TNF, kind of like 41. Yeah, I see that. It's a little abstract. Yeah, we're both in agreement there on the TNF 1-3, 3-1 thing. No doubt about that. You don't think the Texans cover the 7.5 points to start week 8? You don't think they could win by 8 to start week 8 in light of how numerological things are and how 8 syncs up with Houston? You know, I'll say this about the spreads. I think that Vegas waits to see where the money stacks and then screws the bettors over with the scripted finishes. So those spreads are really tough. But in terms of the numerology, I could see them covering by 8 to start week 8, unless that's where the money stacks. And I think the average gambler, when they see a 7.5 point spread, they think that's a pretty big margin in the NFL. So they probably take the other side of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they cover by 8. So somebody said I picked the Dolphins in an upset. If that's what your gut tells you, then stick with the Dolphins. I mean, they could improve to 5-3 on a date with 53 numerology in their 53rd NFL season. It's entirely possible, but I think more numbers favor Houston. So I'm expecting Houston to win tonight. Yeah, Emil points out the same thing. At the same time, in the same breath, the Texans could improve to 5-3 in the Super Bowl season that ends with Super Bowl 53 over the Dolphins, who are in their 53rd season. And oftentimes things work out that way. It's like, so that's why it's a tighter narrative. And I was hoping only one team would be able to improve to 5-3, but it didn't work out that way. If you just got here, I'm going to end this now. The whole video will upload and you can watch from the beginning. Appreciate those of you showing up in the chat. And for people who missed out on the live stream, don't feel bad. This wasn't announced. But from now on, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to do all sports decodes as live streams inside the Patreon. So the people who are here can participate if they want. And I'll start doing a consistent schedule so you can know what time to expect. And it'll probably be around this time because I want to get it out early in the day so you guys have time to marinate on it and add your own decodes and, use this work to be successful. So we'll leave it there, True Seekers. Appreciate all you guys supporting. Appreciate everyone who showed up in the chat. Be back soon enough with more sports decodes. All right, True Seeker. Until next time.